7 lessons for negotiating with creators coming up.
Hello from Detroit. I'm Brad.
I'm Joel.
And we are here to talk with you about 7, not 6, not 8, but 7 tricks to help you negotiate a fantastic, superb deal.
Are they tricks or are they
creators.
rules? Or are they lessons?
I mean, I'd say more guidelines or rules of thumb. Rules of thumb probably shouldn't use that one, right?
What's
Say
that?
guidelines.
Why is rules of thumb?
Because it
What's wrong
involves
with that?
spanking, which is very controversial now,
I had
right?
no idea. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Like the rule of thumb was basically the thickness of a stick that you should go get.
You're kidding.
No, dead serious. Welcome to tremendous insight here. Not only did you learn about the rule of thumb, but you now have also
I
learned.
thought it was like that's an inch, right? Like the thumb is an inch.
It is. Maybe that's true too.
Because
But
that's anyway. All right.
okay.
Rule
So
number 1,
rule-
guideline rule of not thumb. Number 1 is what?
don't lowball creators out of the gate. So many people want to start really, really low, and I get it.
What?
Right?
Why not? Why would I, as a brand, not want to get the best possible rate that I can? And to do that, I've got to start low.
Well, I'm actually just going to jump right to the end point here, which is as humans, we communicate through something like 80, 85 mechanisms. I should probably be tighter on that, but you've probably all read it.
Sure.
It's a lot of mechanisms, and very few of those mechanisms are verbal. Well, I'm throwing out numbers. Let's say it's 4 of the 85. Fact checks, I'm sure that's not correct. But the point is correct.
Yeah.
And that's that as humans, we might say all the right things, but if we're not really feeling that communication, it's not going to be as effective. And so when you throw out a lowball offer to a creator, they're not going to feel valued
Sure.
as a starting point. And so it almost doesn't even matter what you do from there. Even if you go up to a spot, like the creator has that first impression, which matters of you, the brand, of being of wanting to take advantage of creators and of their channel.
Basically says like, I don't value you. Now endorse my product.
Yeah, not a good starting.
Doesn't
point.
work.
All right, number 2, you got it.
I got number 2. Our recommendation is, look, you can figure out who good creators are based on the number of brand deals that they're getting, right? You can leverage other brands' experience, and if you see a brand showing up on a channel again and again and again, you know what that means. Ding, ding, ding. They're successful for that brand. So it's de-risked for you to at least some degree. Take chances and buy more. Again, you're coming in, you're building a relationship with a creator. The creator's audience wants to see that repetition. They want to see that this is a brand that's really partnering with the channel. They're supporting the content all the ways. So look, take a risk. Go in, buy multiple pieces, because it's not uncommon for us to see, like, over time, a channel really start to work, and it's better for the relationship, it's better for the creator, and ultimately, we believe, done as a holistic strategy, it ends up in a better campaign. Number 3, go.
Number 3 is make sure you really understand what you're asking for. So a lot of brands, when they're making an ask, I think all the asks for creators to work with a brand partner are the same, and they're truly not. So one of the big levers that you can pull is basically, do you want usage rights or not? So a lot of brands are like, oh yeah, they're developing content. Like, we're going to use it for our emails. We're going to use it for our website. We're going to use it for billboards, whatever we want. Yeah, we want that usage. Well, no, influencers, you're partnering together with them for their audience. And so usage rights are perfectly fair to ask for, but know that that's going to incur additional costs for you as a brand. Another thing that will incur additional costs for you is if you have talking points or requirements, or basically the things that creators need to do. It's a very long list. Suddenly you're forcing creators to say a whole bunch of like things in your words, or even if it's not in your words, they're not going to be able to talk about what's most important to them, because they're saying in their words what's important to you, and that takes away from the quality of the endorsement, takes away from the quality of the channel. And so creators are going to charge you more if you have a huge long list of talking points, even if it's the same duration of content, right? So if it's a 60-second integration or a 30-second TikTok ad, whatever the case may be, like, not having onerous talking points is really going to save you a lot of money in negotiation. So know really what's important to you up front and only go after spending dollars on what's important to you as a brand. That's
Yeah,
number
and,
three.
and and get the transactional framework out of your head. You're not the customer's not always right. The thing that you want is the creator to be truly endorsing you and your product at the end of whatever this process is. That does not come about by you saying, because I'm paying, I get to demand things. Okay, like, and creators, like,
Right.
they will absolutely reject that
And they
transactional
should.
nature, and they should,
Yes.
and they should. So don't be that person. All right, next, really actually just do your research on market rates for creators. There's enough stuff out there that right now, there are enough services out there right now. Do your research going into it, and that way you're not going to offend somebody.
Yeah.
That was number 4.
Yeah, just another point on number 4 is we've got a whole bunch of great data. So this is slightly self-serving, which we'll slide into number 5 as well. But with respect to number 4, hey, we're an influencer agency. We do this every day.
Right.
We deal with thousands and thousands of creators. We have a very good sense of market pricing. We have some pretty cool one-pagers on that. Feel free to shoot us a note, and we can share those with you. We're going to be rolling out the 2022 version here in the near future. So if you're seeing this, it probably already exists. So don't be afraid to hit us up to help us help you as the expert. So that dovetails really nicely into number 5, which is to basically lean on others to really understand what the market rates are. So don't hesitate to ask agencies, ask other marketers who are doing influencer. I love it when I see marketer groups of folks in the same city or the same region or just the same similar types of businesses who are not competitive and are collaborating together. So just ask. Honestly, it's another version of what the previous point was, in terms of like doing your homework. But ask for help. People like to help others.
Yep. All right, number 6. Really important when it comes to negotiation is know the competition for that creator. What are the other brands? What are the other product categories that are likely going to be coming for that creator? That's going to change it. For instance, no surprise that beauty creators, makeup, get ready with me, women's lifestyle, lookbooks, that's the most expensive category on YouTube. Why? Because makeup brands have massive margins and they can dedicate a whole lot to advertising because their products are relatively inexpensive to produce, right? So,
And they work,
and
right?
they
I mean,
and they
it
work.
works
Yeah,
to work with influencers for beauty brands,
right.
right? I mean, it's a
So,
simple.
yeah, if I've got a brand, I'm a coffee company, and I could just as easily go with this brand or that. Why would I go with the makeup and beauty creator, even though they're effective? I'm going to pay 2 to 3 times as much as I would for another channel that might be equally effective. Just know who your competition is.
Right.
It's going to change how you go about it. There are really, really high quality, niches within YouTube that are relatively inexpensive. And then there are others that are super specific, very well. I mean, I would say the tech creators in tech space, again, super sought after, and they're going to be able to command much higher CPMs typically just by the nature of their other advertisers. Know that going into it. All right, last one, number 7.
Lucky number 7, which is basically understand risk. So I was speaking on a panel a few months back here with a CEO who was hailing the likes of PewDiePie for actually being a really cheap CPM and talking about that as the standard for how you should work with creators. Well, that's fine. And for those of you who are familiar with PewDiePie, you're probably already chuckling. If you're not, he's been on camera using the N word in his streams and his video content. And from a brand perspective, like that's just a no fly zone. Full stop. It's not going to be worth it from my perspective. And we've waved brands off, working with this creator and others like it on many occasions. But be careful because a low price, there might be a lot of risk and a lot of baggage that's associated with that. And the other thing that's maybe not as pernicious is that low prices might mean just the creator's audience doesn't resonate with the recommendations of the creator. So even if they have a strong following, it might just not take recommendations very well. So the low price might not be as attractive as you think.
Yeah, at this point, it's cheap for a reason. The market is mature enough, and things are generally priced where they ought to be. Yeah, you go back 5 years, and you're going to find these absolute gold mines that are totally underpriced, and are just so effective. That's gone. There's enough players in this space right now. Efficient market theory at work. things are generally priced well. So if you're coming in as a campaign saying everything about I'm going to do is a cheap CPM, and then your campaign doesn't work, well, that was pretty predictable. So, all right, with that, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you next time. So long from Detroit.
Cheers.